Carolina, one step closer to banning transgender athletes from middle and high school sports. In particular, this ban would prohibit transgender girls from playing on girls' teams. Today, the Senate Education Committee voted to advance the legislation, which is backed by all 30 GOP senators and most of the Republican House members. There are questions, though, on whether this bill could interfere with federal law. WCNC Charlotte, Shamaria Morrison spoke with a legal expert today. She joins us live. Shay, what did they tell you about the legality of a ban like this?
Well, legal experts say that this is both complicated and an evolving issue. I mean, they say it really is going to be coming down to a few court cases that are making their way through the court system throughout the United States, and eventually this issue may go all the way up to the Supreme Court.
If you're trying to defend women's sports, this is not the right defensive scheme.
A North Carolina Senate Education Committee heard heated arguments Tuesday morning about a controversial bill aiming to restrict transgender girls from playing on girls' sports in North Carolina schools.
Allowing males to compete in women's sports reverses nearly 50 years of advances for women and undermines the very intent of Title IX.
This legal argument is one that courts, state legislatures, and the Department of Education all have varying opinions on.
The law, the statute says absolutely nothing about transgender students. The law prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex.
The big question is, does Title IX include protecting transgender athletes under its sex discrimination laws?
Title IX is an evolving area of the law when it comes to gender identity.
Jonathan Vogel is an education lawyer and former Deputy General Counsel at the U.S. Department of Education. He says Title IX has been interpreted by different presidential administrations to mean different things when it comes to sports and gender identities. The Biden administration's interpretation?
School districts cannot categorically restrict students from participating on the team of their gender identity. Rather, there would need to be an analysis done that would support any such restriction.
What about the court's interpretation of the Title IX law?
We have two circuits now that have opposed decisions.
One federal court of appeals says Title IX's sex discrimination clause covers transgender students, and another says it doesn't.
It is likely the Supreme Court would hear the case and resolve the circuit split and decide for purposes of Title IX whether the prohibition against discrimination on the basis of sex includes discrimination on the basis of gender identity.
Vogel says the Supreme Court has yet to accept any type of case like this. And another remedy to this problem would be Congress making it clear one way or the other what kind of rights transgender students have when it comes to athletics in the entire country. Live in Uptown Charlotte, Shamaria Morrison, WCNC Charlotte.